division at Concord, now circulating around the half mile. And Steve Post has a look at the starting lineup in the Pro Trucks division.
Yeah, Joe Fusaro on the number 57 car. Joe is 12th in points. He'll start on the pole position. James Brown, 7th in points, one of the great rookie drivers here. And number 1, he'll start second. Roger Lee Newton, we talked about him in the opening. He set a new track record, besting his track record from last week. He's 4th in points. His speed was 103.896 miles per hour. Larry Zentmeyer, third start of the season in the number 4 truck, goes away 4th. Jeremy Moore is 2nd in points with 6 wins. He'll start 5th. Terry Brooks Jr. making his 10th start here in the number 23 car, starting 6th. Your points leader, Ken Kellis, he is the points leader with no wins in the number 3 truck, will start 7th. Randy Burnett, 9th in points, will start 8th. Jimmy Barton starts in 9th spot in the 17 truck. Marilyn Beasley has 3 wins this season. She'll start 10th. Roy Vasky is 10th in points, and he will start in the number 11 spot. Mike Faree has a pair of wins this season. In the number 27 truck, he starts 12th. Tab Boyd, second start in the trucks, actually won the limited stock feature last time we were out here. In the number 6 truck, he'll start 13th. Steve Volgraff starts 14th. And Carl Kellis is 5th in points. He will start 15th.
Steve Gant, it couldn't get any closer than this in the truck points chase.
Talking about a tight race, Ken Kellis and Jeremy Moore are currently tied for the points lead. Now they're going to race hard tonight. They're going to race each other to try to just pick up only one position. One position will give them the lead. Marilyn Beasley is 3rd in points, followed by Roger Lee Newton. And Roger Lee Newton is on a tear lately. He's a rookie driver with 4 wins thus far in the 2000 season. Carl Kellis, the brother of Ken Kellis, is currently 5th in points. But these guys are really putting on a great show out here at Concord. And get this, Woody, Ken Kellis, tied with Jeremy Moore in the points, has yet to win a race. Jeremy Moore has won 6 times here at Concord.
That's something else. They just stopped the Steve Volgraff truck. He's taking it behind the wall right now. Evidently, he came out without a gas cap on and was sloshing out a little gas on the track there. So somebody forgot the cap.
I've done that before, leaving a gas station. You leave the thing open and the cap's off, so I guess that's possible.
There's Joe Fusaro, Speedway Paint and Body. Joe, we got to meet on the Let's Talk Racing program earlier this year. His son plays football down at Mount Pleasant High School, a sophomore there, and Joe said, I'm glad he's interested in that instead of this racing. It'll be a lot cheaper on me.
Yeah, Joe's a great guy. Came down to North Carolina from, I believe, Long Island, and great to have him racing here with us with that beautiful Dodge pickup truck.
We got word now that Steve Volgraff in the 00 truck lost his gas cap somewhere on the racetrack, so I imagine they'll ride around a couple laps, probably looking for that debris that Steve absolutely needs.
Yeah, he's going to have that. Even if he's got a spare, you don't want somebody running over it on the track. They'll go 30 laps here in the truck class, 15 strong. As we mentioned, the second fastest division at Concord, the fastest of them qualified at over 103 miles an hour. When we get to the late models next, the fastest there were in the 108 mile an hour range, so that gives you an idea of what kind of speeds these trucks turn. They get around here pretty well.
Yeah, they've been, this is the second or third year of the truck series here, and they really have picked up tonight. 15 trucks took a qualifying run. Really good to see that division picking up, and they're very competitive. It seems like the more trucks we have, just the better and the better the racing gets, because more of the guys are stepping up into this division.
Guys, let me give you a bit of information. Marilyn Beasley is currently 3rd in points. She has the best average finish of any driver here at Concord that has started at least 15 races or more, so she has really been consistent all year.
Steve Volgraff about to come back out on the track now, but I guarantee you Joe Fusaro right now is kind of enjoying this, thinking, man, if they can't find that gas cap, I'm going to get even more TV time, but the crowd beginning to talk about it a little bit now.
That's a Tony Stewart fan sitting there.
Well, he's not here, but a fan nonetheless.
You never know with Tony Stewart, with his love of short track racing. He could be here, actually.
He might indeed. Joe Fusaro, Speedway Paint and Body, and Tim Marburger Dodge, I know pretty happy with what they've been able to accomplish this year, and he's got a good qualifying starting up front, even though, as Steve mentioned, the Concord Scramble, they put the top 8 into a hat and redraw. So he's going to get to stay up front at least for a little while here as Volgraff comes back out.
And Steve Post, you mentioned Tony Stewart could very well be here. Many times we've seen Joe Gibbs sit out in the stands. He had a son that raced here for a couple of years, but we see Joe out here all the time.
It really is not rare. I travel around with the Winston Cup program, and I do a lot of Friday night or Saturday night short track races, and it is no surprise to me. There's probably been 6 or 8 times this year that I'd go to some short track somewhere and Tony Stewart is there also, and he just loves short track racing. So not out of the realms of possibility, although we've yet to see him here tonight.
Well, you also get some guys, some familiar names as well. You get guys like Paul Andrews and Steve Meal come out here quite a bit, helping out their sons.
Yeah, that's good to see that they get out here. Their sons both race in the late model division. And this weekend that we are taping this is the weekend of the races at Lowe's Motor Speedway. So a lot of people are in town tonight, so yeah, it could be a who's who out here.
All right, we're about ready to get the green for 30 laps in the Pro Truck Division. Joe Fusaro on the point. Outside of him, James Brown, the rookie, in the one machine. Here we go.
Oh, boy, they're rubbing and racing in turn one. Look at that.
Looks like the 4 truck
there we
come
go.
up to speed.
Oh, hang on there. That's James Brown. He always seems to be involved in some kind of wild action, and right now he's gotten to the inside of Joe Fusaro, but out front, Roger Lee Newton, who has been absolutely on fire in this division. How about this, guys? Steve Gant, you mentioned he's won 4 races. How about 4 out of the past 6 and 5 out of the past 6 poles?
He has really found a secret here at Concord. He's finished 12 times in the top 5, so he's been consistent all year. But like you say, Woody, he has really stepped it up a notch.
Terry Brooks Jr. now has gotten his way into the 3rd spot, and there's Joe Fusaro. He's gotten hung out on the outside. A lot of damage on the right side of that truck. A lot of damage out there. And speaking of damage, he'll take that back to his Speedway shop over there on the boulevard and get that fixed. He's got a nice facility over there. Roger Lee Newton showing the way. 2nd is James Brown. 3rd, Terry Brooks Jr. And running now in 4th, Steve, the guy you mentioned that didn't quite come up to speed as we see the 17, Jimmy Barton, wobbling there just in front of Mike Ferree in the 27. But the 4 truck owned by our old pal Shorty Balkum, and he's got Larry Zentmeyer in the machine. Larry hasn't driven here since '96.
And yes, Shorty had them red suspenders on. You never see him without them.
He was in uniform then, wasn't he?
There you go.
He didn't want to get fined for being out of uniform here, as Roger Lee Newton just has really figured this track out late in the season.
And this is a rookie we're looking at, 33, Roger Lee Newton. A rookie here at Concord doing just a great job.
Unfortunately for Roger Lee, Jeremy Moore has had such a fine year that Roger Lee Newton won't be able to catch him in all likelihood for the rookie battle. Jeremy Moore may win the points championship and the rookie championship in the same year.
If he could, that would be great. That would be quite an accomplishment.
But how about this? Roger Lee Newton is running away. There's Joe Fusaro battling there with the 3 of Ken Kellis, who is tied for the points lead. Just behind them is Randy Burnett in the 14. Look at that, nose to tail, about 6 trucks.
The last thing Roger Lee wants to see right now is a caution come out. Right now he's got about a 12, 15 truck length lead. And I don't believe anybody's got anything for him.
8 laps complete now. It's a battle for 2nd at the moment. There's Joe Fusaro. You got to look at the damage there that occurred as they went into turn 1 on the first lap. The front end, especially the right front, kind of bent under the truck. There's the 4 we were talking about, Larry Zentmeyer, who used to drive here, I believe, in, all kinds of banging coming off of turn 4. But Zentmeyer, I believe, Steve, used to drive in what they called the Enduro class, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been about 4 years ago. He's a young fellow from Enidville, North Carolina, out west of Kannapolis.
I don't know if he's got any cantaloupes in there.
Guarantee you, everybody in Enidville's got cantaloupes.
So Larry Zentmeyer and Shorty Balkum hooking up. Nose to tail, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then it's a ways back to Fusaro in 6th. Here's the battle for 7th. Ken Kellis has it. Randy Burnett trying to take it away. And the more important thing for Ken Kellis there in the 3 truck, he needs to pick up a couple of spots. 2 spots ahead of him is the guy he's tied with for the points lead,
and look here,
Jeremy Moore.
To lose a spot. Burnett really wants that spot bad.
Yeah, Randy Burnett in that 14 truck seems pretty strong there. Now he's finally got it up into the inside lane. Takes over the spot.
I was picking at Ken Kellis. We saw him in the garage area earlier, and he was working real hard, shining and waxing that truck up as here comes Marilyn Beasley. And I said, is that going to make it faster? He said, I hope so.
Yeah.
I believe when Burnett made the pass on Kellis, he opened the door for Marilyn Beasley. Marilyn Beasley's got her front end under the truck. She's currently 3rd in the points. Actually, she's 2nd because there's a 2-way tie. Oh, we got trouble right here on the front straightaway. The 2 truck.
Oh,
it's
boy.
Kellis, the other Kellis, Carl, the rookie. And he was fortunate that nobody really T-boned him because he was sideways blocking the track, but fortunately there was a gap in traffic right there.
Very fortunate.
We've got 13 laps complete, approaching halfway. Looks like Ken Kellis is going to be able to get the Morrison lumber truck underway, but let's see if we can pick up what happened. Watch here coming out of 4, guys. There he is.
Just by himself, lost it. I think he got in a little bit hard and got on the brakes, and then it went the other way with him.
That was Rob Baskey in the green truck coming up and narrowly avoiding a grinding crash there. But while we've got a moment here, Steve Gant was in the pits earlier today, and he caught up with one of the drivers in this field.
Thanks again, Woody. Steve Algrave, all the way from Long Island, New York, but now living in Kannapolis. First of all, what brings you down south?
I ran out of gas.
Oh, you was on your way to Florida and ran out of gas?
Yeah, that's about it. Now, tell you the truth, my father was a truck driver. We always used to drive down here on the way to Florida. I always liked the Carolinas and like it a lot better than New York. I don't think I'll ever move back.
There you go. Steve, you run a limited year here, a limited series here at Concord this year, but didn't have a bad year. So, I think you're still 15th in the points, and you spotted everybody at least 7, 8, maybe 10 or 12 races.
Yeah, it's a little tough. I work for an investment company. I don't get the time to work on the truck that I like to.
You work for an investment company, so when you're not driving this race truck, you spend people's money or you invest people's money.
That's about it. I help them with mutual funds and IRAs, lower their taxes.
Hey, we need to talk. I'm paying too much taxes now.
I'll talk to you after the races.
Steve, you picked up DJ's restaurant as a sponsor this year, and that's a wonderful place to eat.
Yeah, that's kind of why I talked to him, because I ate at his Salisbury location. He told me he was opening a new one over in Concord. Got fantastic Italian and Greek food. They also got Center Grove cleaners on the back. They clean all my suits for free. Do a great job. And whole list of connections. They do kind of a sports massage thing. They help me with my knees.
I'm going to get us a free meal out of this. We're going to tell everybody to go to DJ's Restaurant at the corner of Copperfield Boulevard and Penny Lane in Concord and tell them Steve sent you, right?
Sounds good.
It'll work for us, right?
Yeah, it'll work for you.
Steve, thanks for talking to us and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, Woody, back to you and Steve.
So Steve Volgraff had a problem early losing his gas cap, ran out of gas, and that's why he stayed here, he said. Picked up that DJ sponsorship, and he is an investment counselor, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty sharp guy.
This thing's getting pretty lucrative for Steve Gant. He's getting free investment tips and a free meal at DJ's. But I'll tell you what, this is working.
It's just a good deal.
You got to be in the right place at the right time. Still pinned on the outside now is Joe Fusaro in the 57. Can't seem to get the truck into the low groove.
Now, keep your eye on the 57 truck. When he comes around, there's a halfway signal by Randy. Now, keep your eye on the 57 truck. Look at the damage on the right-hand side of the racing truck. Right there. You see the damage?
On the front. That's the one that happened on the first lap as they went into turn 1. I think he and James Brown got together. Now he's battling hard with Mike Faree in the 27.
Yeah, Joe Fusaro, this really is the same pattern he had at the beginning of the race. He had trouble holding the car down in the air, or the truck down on the inside. Now battling for the number 8 spot. A few laps into the run, he kind of gets down in line, and actually the last time he was able to pull out a distance on the guy he was racing side by side with. So see if Joe can get down in line. There's Marilyn Beasley now working to the inside.
And Joe's got a son. I got to mention this, Woody. Joe's got a son that plays football at him now. Glad that those guys have really turned it around and having a good year.
Black flag being waved. Didn't see which truck it was. Looks like the 23.
Well, the 23 looks like the hood's loose on the truck.
No, he's losing water. Look.
No,
you can see it. You could see a little bit of it. See that?
It's off the wing, or off the fin on the back.
There it is.
Right here.
It's overheating.
Yeah, see, that's where the overflow comes out right there.
Now, I was talking with Steve Volgraff, and he said he was having an overheating problem this year several times as well. They've changed several things trying to figure out what it was, but now the same problem is afflicting Terry Brooks Jr., who's the son of the former sportsman champion, or rather late model champion, Terry Brooks. And now the truck has just really given up on him.
Gave up on him, yeah.
19 laps complete. Terry Brooks Jr. had really started to put together a pretty good year after missing a good portion of the first half.
Well, Terry Brooks Jr. is currently 13th in the points, and he's sat on the pole 3 times here at Concord with 1 win. But, he's learned a lot from his dad.
He's only been in 9 races.
So he's done a great job, and good luck to him. He's going to Western Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. And I asked Terry if he was going to play football or anything there. He played at Central Cabarrus. He said, nope, he wants to race. So next year he's going to try and do some more of that. 19 laps complete right now. Roger Lee Newton continuing to show the way. Back with the green flag after this.
Go inside. We've set up 4 phone. Did you activate the force field? Ooh, and he still got through. All right, we're gonna need the super cape. Yes! All right, way to go, Billy. We just saved the universe.
Family.
Thanks, Dad.
Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
We love you too.
When we all work together, everyone's a winner. I'm Dale Jarrett. As Americans, we have a lot to be thankful for, but we should never forget the veterans who sacrificed their well-being so we could enjoy our freedom. You can make a difference by joining the Disabled American Veterans Voluntary Service Program. To join the team, contact the Voluntary Service Office at your VA Medical Center or write Disabled American Veterans, 807 Main Avenue Southwest, Washington, D.C.
Life. You're born, you're all potential like a blank slate. You get to fill it any way you want. Nah. You're a canvas. Yeah, you're like a brand new canvas you can go wild on. Nah, maybe you're more like a lump of clay that can be molded into anything. Well, the idea is simple. Fill up your life. Just keep drugs out of it, huh? After all, your life is the only whatever you got. It's a life or drugs situation.
There you see what happened when Terry Brooks Jr. came onto pit road, Steve Post, and he wasn't the only guy there.
Yeah, Terry Brooks, of course, had the problem with the overheating. Also, the 10 of Rob Baskey pitted. He is back on the speedway. And we saw the 57 of Joe Fusaro pit. Crew pulled away that front valence a little bit to make sure, I think as much as anything else, that it wasn't rubbing on the right front tire.
Roger Lee Newton has really, he gets a good, clean jump. He's, when the first caution come out, he had about a 12 truck length lead. When the second caution come out, he had about the same lead. We'll see what he does this time. Absolutely nobody has anything for him at this point in the race.
And guys kind of quietly having a really good night here is Larry Zentmeyer in Shorty Baucom's truck. He's up to third right now and running pretty well.
There's James Brown. After he got through the first turn, it's been pretty uneventful for James, and that's an accomplishment here. He's doing really good running right there with Roger Lee Newton.
Did you see on top of his windshield, did you see the lettering on top of his windshield? We got to see this when he comes back around. We picked on him the first time we saw him. James Brown, the hardest working man in show business, and the godfather of soul.
Oh,
look out there.
Yeah, buddy.
I can't believe it.
Oh, I feel good. Here we go.
He's always got a trick up his
what
sleeve.
A character he is. He wanted to show me his shirt tonight, and
oh, my goodness. Now, that time, Roger Lee Newton didn't get quite the jump, Steve Post, but right now he's beginning to pull away again.
Yeah, slowly he's pulling it out, but James Brown having a real strong run in the number 1 truck and able to hang on to that number 2 spot. Brown, I believe that's about the third different number he's had in the truck. He keeps changing it up for good luck, and, boy, he might have found a winner with number 1 there. He's running really good tonight.
what a character he is. You know, we got one James Brown as the godfather of soul. Now we got another James Brown as the godfather of racing. So there you have it.
Actually, the last time we heard James was in the penalty box, if you will. There's Jeremy Moore working on the inside of the Ford truck. James actually had to spend one race up here in the tower to see how race officials did it, and obviously it's all worked pretty well, whether it's the number change or spending the night in the tower. He's having a great run in the number 2 spot.
Jeremy in the 7 truck, we mentioned, is tied for the points lead, so he wants to get every position he can. He'll race as hard as he can. That's for 4th place right there.
He's in 4th right now, trying to move up and take the 3rd spot away from Larry Zentmeyer, and he tries inside, he tries outside. Now we've got 5 to go. Zentmeyer looks to the inside of James Brown. Meanwhile, Roger Lee Newton is saying, you guys keep that up. I'll be glad to run away.
Oh, Roger's got the biggest lead he's had all night.
Coming by this time, 4 laps to go. You saw there, Steve, an idea of the margin. Side by side now, little contact is trying to force his way through. There is the 7 of Jeremy Moore to the inside of Larry Zentmeyer, and Larry's fighting back.
Roger Lee's got about a 3-second lead, and that equals probably, I'd say, 20, 25 truck lengths on the racetrack.
And the bigger story right now, though, Steve, is the 2 guys battling for the points lead are separated by just 3 spots on the racetrack, so nothing will be decided. It'll come down to the last race.
Sure will. We saw Terry Brooks Jr. take his truck behind into the garage area. 2 laps to go.
Here's the battle for second, side by side. A late race charge by Jeremy Moore sees him pick up 2 spots now as they head around. The 14 of Randy Burnett tries to take advantage as well, and all of a sudden, losing a couple of spots is Larry Zentmeyer, who got into the high groove and couldn't get back down. White flag is out. It's Roger Lee Newton's race to win or lose, bidding for his 5th of the 2000 season, almost all of them coming right here at the end of the season. And Roger Lee Newton will do it. The rookie driver just having a spectacular finish to the year. Wins again. Second place is going to be the 7. Hang on there. Almost a crash at the start-finish line, but coming across is James Brown. He makes it okay, and there you see the rest of the top 5, the way they finished here at Concord. But Roger Lee Newton takes the victory. When we come back, Steve Post will talk to him in Victory Lane.
Growing up backstage here at the Apollo Theater, I had some incredible teachers. I mean, they could show me a move and make it stick. Today, when teachers look for creative ways to reach a kid, they turn to cable in the classroom. With donated cable technology, teachers connect kids to a world of commercial-free educational programs. With free study guides and internet support, cable helps teachers make it stick. Nice moves, Cable in the Classroom.
Cable in the Classroom is the public service of Time Warner Cable.
Hey, here he is. Oh, going up top. Roger Lee Newton pulls it into victory lane. Roger, I believe you're 5 out of the last 7 races. What have you found different here in the last month and a half?
Oh, seat time's a big difference here. We finally got the truck hooked up, got a good line here at Concord now. I believe we've got something for these boys now.
Well, there you go. Tonight, was it as easy out there as it looked? You were able to get the lead real early on in the event from your 3rd starting spot. Did you have any close calls, any problems out there tonight?
No, not really. I was just baby in the truck, and it was probably the easiest win I probably had all year.
Well, there you go. I know there's some people that you need to thank for helping you get out here and race.
Yeah, I like to thank my dad most and my mom. I like to thank Roger Newton Concord, Philip Morside, and SIT Forklift Tire, Quality Pools, Brett Dover Custom Graphics, Dale Love, Jim Linker, Jack Whitley, all my fans that come here each and every week to support me. I just like to thank everybody.
Well, there we go, gang. He gets down here. He gets to thank all of his sponsors, all of the fans. Roger Lee Newton, 5 of the last 7 here at Concord.
And Roger Lee Newton as well has won 6 out of the last 7 poles. What a fine finish to the year for the rookie. He is really charged up at the latter part of the season to make his presence felt here at Concord. Fine finish to the year, but they do have one more points race to go in the truck division. However, these guys, the late models, this is the final points race of the 2000 campaign for them, and we still have some things to be decided. When we come back, we'll meet the starting lineup for the 150 lapper.